Hello Python and Django developers. So today I wanted to show you on how to go live using the Daraja API from Safaricom to receive payments, process the payments, and then saving the payments to the database. So as you can see, I've just prepared a simple Django application just for this demo. And before even we start, there are some things that you need so that you may proceed. First thing being the pay bill or a till, you just do fine. And once you get that pay bill, ask these guys from Safaricom to help you go online in your Daraja portal. So when you just search Daraja, you have to go online on this portal. So you will have, I'm logged in. So when once you receive the credentials from in your email, so once you receive the credentials, and this is the sample of the credentials that will be sent in your email. So one of the credentials will be your short code and the passkey, and also you'll receive the API endpoints. So it will give you the reversal, the C, all of them. Like you can see all of them here. So once you receive these, now you ask them to help you go online, and under your apps they will create an app. This is my sandbox, but when you click on this drop down here, you'll see your live applications here. And then from now that, they will give you some credentials here that will help you to communicate with their APIs. So the APIs, all of the APIs are here. So we start with the authorization, then we be dealing with this M-Pesa Express API here. So like when you click on simulate here, you can go through the documentation, but also the documentation is just it's very shallow. Like it is not explaining that much on how to do the API, but that is what I'm going to show you right now. So let's go back to the Django application. So here in the Django application, I'll not talk about the routing and stuff, but we'll just go direct to the point. So this index view here, this is the index page. So once I get back online on my Analytica here, this is the index page. So this is what we are seeing. And also one thing I did not mention, which is on my secondary screen, is I'm tunneling the application, because we are simulating the API on a live server. So you need a live server. So I've just used ngrok to simulate the application. So I've just forwarded the localhost 8000, and my application is running on all interfaces. So once I open my terminal, let me just stop it, the terminal, and you can see I'm running in all interfaces. So I think that one will help. I've not just checked on it, but I think it will help, because when you just do like the 127, I don't think if it will work, but you can try and tell me. So now once you've tunneled your port, you can also do in VS Code. I think this one here you can forward, but I'm not using this one. You can forward under ports here. So you can add a port, and then you specify the port, and then you forward under. Then once the port has been forwarded, now you go to a Django settings. On my case, it's called Analytica, and then you go to settings and make sure that it's added on the allowed hosts, and also it's added on the CSRF trusted origins. Good. So once you've done that, let's go back to the index page of the application. So on this index page, this is where we are grabbing the parameters to send them to the SDK push. So these are my helper functions that are helping me to get to the SDK push stuff. So first of all, when you looked at the documentation online here, on the APIs here, so we start with the authorization. Okay, so into the authorization, this is where we get the access token, and this access token, that is where we use the consumer key and the consumer secret. So these secrets are just as username and password. Consumer key is the username and this is the password to get the access token. Now once you get the access token, you can proceed to get to the STK push. Look at this. For the STK push to be successful, there are some data that you need to send to the request body, and this is the data. So you collect it. So let's start with the access token because that is what will help us to pass into the headers. Okay, there we go. We need the access token, and that is happening here to get it. So see, I'm calling that function and it's returning the access token. And now once you get the access token, you need the business shortcode, and the business shortcode is just your pay bill, and then passkey. You've seen it on my email, and also your phone number that are gonna make the payment. That's it. You can also pass the phone number dynamically, by the way, because I was wondering why uh, I'm not receiving the prompt on the correct number. uh, okay, so and the amount that you're gonna pay, so I'll just pass the amount dynamically. I was wondering, I'm making shooting the amount in the front and I'm getting a different amount anyway. So and here it's very this is the timestamp and the password. So this password, you have to do an extra thing here. You have to encode with base 64 encoder the shortcode, the passkey, and the timestamp. You combine all of them to get the password. Okay, and the password will be sent over the request body, and then the transaction type, you can get it online. When you look at their requests here on the simulate, these the M-Pesa Express API, which is the SDK push. It's this is the request body, so they tell you what to pass in here. We need to pass in the callback URL. So this is how this thing work. Like once this request has been made to your phone, because this is being sent to Safaricom server, okay, and then the Safaricom server responds with something to tell you that there is something that happening. Okay, that is the callback URL is responsible for listening such kind of thing. So when you look at this slash mpesa slash callback, it's here. Let me show you. It's here. Mine is here. So you see mpesa callback, and it's pointing to this callback here. So it only accepts post request, because listen, when we were on the views here, that is on the utils here, we made a post request. Okay, once it has been received in the Safaricom server, the server will send also a post request on your callback URL. Okay, so we listen. If it's like that, we we try to get the data that has been sent to us, and that will happen. Also remember, there is something that has been sent to us. Okay, it before even we get to the callback URL here, there is also another callback URL that is being invoked, and that is where I was getting confused. Look at the index, the front end part. This is the front end part. After the form, look at my script. In this script, we are listening for the form submission. Okay, so once the form has been submitted, there is some button, the spinner. Let me show you. The spinner, it's where we need to remove this where the payment status. It's here. I've hid it. I think here. So when I remove this, go back to online, you should see it here spinning. Okay, so once you click on this button, it will unhide this stuff, but then there is a condition for that. So let me undo that one. So look at the script. We are listening for the form submission, and then we remove the spinner from hidden, and then we disable the button. And also there are some icons that I'm removing the hidden class. And also look at this, we are preparing the form data. Once this has been triggered, remember, when you hit on this endpoint here, we try to save this response, and remember there is something that is being returned here. So once we console log, it will be it will be logged in the browser here, of which we can just use a pop-up to tell the user, check on your phone, an SDK push has been sent to your phone to enter your M-Pesa pin. Okay, that is the response that we'll get once you hit this one. But then look at this. When you go back here, once this post request has been sent to our URL, so it receives, there is an API response that we get. Okay, and then once we get that API response, it comes with a response code. Okay, after we get the response, at the same time we are creating an entry to the database. Look at this. I have a database table here which is storing the payment details. Okay, this is the payment details in the database. What is happening once you hit the when you hit the pay button, it will invoke this, and once the response has been received, we create that is not the response, but the request has been made to this endpoint. We create the payment once using the this checkout request ID. And by the way, these are the some requests that the response that you get from the server once the payment has been, based on the action that is being done on the action that is being done after, should I say after, or when the payment is in progress. This is when I entered the wrong pin, this is when I cancelled without entering the pin, and this is a successful payment. So now look at this. Once we create that, we go back, so the data is being sent back to it comes back as a response from the server, which is this server here. Okay, which is this response here. Okay, so you see we are returning the response. Okay, so once we get the response from the server, now what's happening, we check for the response code, we store the checkout ID, because that checkout ID will help us to update the payment in the database. Look at this. Now once we get the request ID, we call another function, and this is the JavaScript function. In this function, it's down here. This function, we are going to another callback URL, and this callback URL is capable of telling us if the payment was made successfully or not, because once you enter the pin, that pin will send a response to Safaricom server. Once that has been sent to the server will also respond to our callback here. It will update our database. We'll try to check on we'll try to check to receive the data, and then we collect the callback data, and then we check we take the checkout request ID that we stored in the database, and also the response code. Okay, so we try these things here. We try to check, we query the database to take the payment that is matching the response, the checkout request ID, and then we check the response, the results code. Okay, if it's 0, we update the payment. Now after that, we save the record on the database, and then return a 200 success response code. Okay, so back in our JavaScript here, we are constantly checking the payment, if it has been updated or not, after every 3 seconds. Look at this. So M-Pesa, not this one, but on this one here, this check. So we'll simulate that. In fact, I should pull this to this screen, and also this one to this screen, because I want to show you the logs that have been sent to my backend. So once we check we constantly check the payment. If it's still pending, we clear the interval, and then it continues, just like checking until it's been satisfied. Once it has detected the success from the endpoint, then it shoots this message. Okay, we have these different models that are prepared here. So let's simulate this thing so that you can get what I'm saying. So first I will enter my number. So this is 7, then 68314744, and then the amount that I'm gonna pay is 10 bob only, and the reference code it is of no meaning to me at this point. Just hit enter and you see the processing. Look at my backend here. Post request has been done, but then look at this. The number that I've entered, it's invalid. But why? Invalid phone number. The 7631. Okay, let me try again. Phone number, how? Let's check on our backend. What did I do? Okay. Okay, let's have 254 then. 254. Like that, because it was working with that 0 there. Let's do again. We have a problem. Okay, it has refreshed. Let's do this again. 7 there's 768 31 47 44, and then the amount I'm gonna pay is 10 bob, and then just enter something because in something. Oh, why phone number? Like, let's go back direct to the utils and check the phone number that I'm passing here. Like, okay, let me just enter phone number, because you have to create another function that you need to refine the phone number to have a format of 254 and stuff. And I think, yeah, I think it's a string if I'm not wrong. Let's try this then with this. Copy kabla iende. Okay, there we go. Then paste it there, and then 10 bob like that one, and then any kind of stuff there. Okay, another phone number error. It's okay, it's okay. So I'm gonna enter the phone number here. Okay, let me just undo because it was written there. Okay, okay, okay. Control Y. The phone number. Yeah, the phone number I'd written hit here. So it's just key. I think it. I will just use that. The phone number that I've just passed in the front end, it won't work because it should be like this. Let's test before we let's just fill in. But the amount, also the amount I'm just passing hit here. Let's just trigger this thing and we can factor it out and see. Okay, we have something that tell me that in order to okay, that is happening inside my view here. I don't know, like parameter, this safe parameter to false, so it's telling us to do this. Safe is equals to false. I don't know, and it is working. If it if it works, don't touch it. Okay. Okay, let's refresh and see if it works correctly, like that. And 68314744, this is initiate the payment. Okay, there's a problem because let me check it out, and I don't know what's happening here. Okay, 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 so we can retry this. So in the backend, what I'm gonna do here, look at this, look at this, look at this. So in the backend, in the under utils, just restarted the server and everything was okay. Since I'm passing the phone number, when you look at the views here, the phone number, it's here. So I'm passing the number plus the number. So I think if I can print the number here, print, and then the number, I think that is the phone number. We can see it on the can see the format of it here, so that we can replace it there, up there. Okay, so the phone number, the amount is 10 bob. Okay, and then the order number, and then let's see, the phone number, has it been, wait, don't fool me. I think you should restart the server and clear it. I have a lot of logs there, don't worry. Yes, like that. Okay, let's do one more time. That is 00, oh, ending there, then initiate, and we should see the phone number. Yes, it's here. Yeah, of course, it has been, it's timing out. I don't know why it can't be reached. What's wrong with my phone? I don't know. Okay, right now on my phone I'm checking on something, and okay, let's check again, refresh the application, and let's send to a different number, 713039524, and then this is 10 bob, and let's have that one there, and let's check on it. It's constantly checking. I've not yet received the, oh my goodness, what's wrong with you? Okay, user cannot be reached. Why? My phone is active. Okay, let's try again. Okay, this is interesting then, with a different number, like the number that I had, that 14744. Okay, it's also failing. I don't know, like, should I maybe change the tunneling URL, because once you restart it, when you stop this one, it will, I see it's hitting my backend, like, yeah, you see the payment has been there, but it's not reaching out the it's not reaching out, so I have to change this callback URL again and put it on my Django application, like that. So that is the problem that we get, we as developers. So I go back to settings, replace the callback URL with this, and also this. Okay, and also I need to remove, in fact I can remove this because you don't need it, and also in my utils, the callback URL, it should be changed here. So let me see. Oh, no, Z, and then can copy it directly from here, I guess, just like that. I've just copied it, and then let me just paste it here. No, up to this point. Yes, just like that. And now also this URL also here will change, because once I do this, it will be not there. So I need to paste it there and access my application just like that. So I'll just visit the application, and as you can see, it's telling me like I need to have this in my this is allowed hosts. So I need to go back to my settings, and then put it to my allowed hosts, like just like this. You need a comma here. It's not a mandatory, but it's good practice to have it. And then come back and refresh, visit the site, and what's wrong? Okay, so I think I need to restart my server. Oh, no, yes, so let's go back and have our phone number 0768314744, and this is 10 bob, not 19, but anything there, the reference. Good, it has launched to my phone, and I'm gonna enter the correct pin, and boom, the payment is waiting. Look at my console here and look for here, payment failed. Why? Because I have insufficient balance. Good, that is working perfectly, and that this one is being returned by the Safaricom server. Okay, that's it. Let's try with a phone that has enough money. So let me just very quickly get some money to that number. Okay, let me just refresh the application, and let me just enter the phone number 07 and then 68314744. The amount, remember, the amount is static, so these are just for formalities for the form to be submitted or to initiate the amount. I don't know why my phone is not giving me. Okay, I just cancelled it. Let's see. Yes, it has been cancelled. Let me check. Okay, proceed. Okay, so let's initiate it again. Yes, let's initiate. You see, it failed because I had cancelled it. Yes, now I can have the correct amount. Now let me enter my pin. Good, now I entered the correct amount, and then boom, you see, it was constantly checking, and you can hear that is the payment has been received on my end, and the operation was successful. And that is how I struggled to get these things done. So one of the researches that I found was on GitHub. Like on GitHub, when you go to GitHub, I can show you something here, and you come here and search for that is because I develop using Django. I do Django and then M-Pesa, like that. You'll see a lot of people doing things. So like this guy here, he updated the repo last year. So when I checked on this repository, when I went to this Django Daraja here, the only thing that I was interested in was I think was this repo, or I don't know. Yeah, I think it was this. The only thing that I was interested in was on how to initiate um, the MPesa um, SDK push. So all the APIs I'll be calling, I'll be referencing it using this repository. So I can see, and he has documented the API very well. So it's just a matter of learning as you practice. You practice, learn, and you'll get to know these things. So all the APIs, so you can see this, the SDK push, business to customer, business to, I don't know, salary, promotion, and you'll get to know all this API, what it does. Even when you look at the Safaricom, the APIs at the under the APIs, all of this, all the reversals, I'm gonna call all these APIs, and I'm gonna show you how it does, how it works. Okay, if you enjoyed the content, just give me a like, and I'll be so happy. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel.